Hey everybody, this is Jen from Colorful Creations Soapery and Crafts, and also from Garden Jen's Journey. I am doing a dual channel video today. I thought it'd be neat to share it on both my channels. So this video today is going to be making melt and pour soap. It's the soap that I use to make my little embeds for the soap that I sell at Colorful Creations. And so I thought I'd share it with you. Melt and pour soap is a really neat soap because you pre-make it, and then by its very nature you can melt it down and add things to it or pour it into molds of different shapes, and then it rehardens into soap again. So that's what's really neat about melt and pour soap. But just to clear things up, because some people don't realize, melt and pour soap is made the same way as regular soap. It does use lye to make the soap, because lye is what causes the oils to turn into soap. So melt and pour soap is still a lye-based soap product. It's just somebody's already done the making of the soap for you, so you don't have to mess with the lye itself. So anyways, in this crock pot I have my base oils, which I have castor oil, coconut oil, and olive oil. And I'm going for a clear translucent melt and pour. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't use soap or oils that are colored. Olive oil tends to give your soaps a more yellow greenish tinge, so this recipe uses less olive oil and more of the clear oil like castor oil and coconut oil. So I have the translucent soap when I'm done. So we're just going to let this melt in here and come up to temperature while my lye solution is actually coming down temperature. My lye solution is approximately 200 degrees right now, and that's a little too warm. We're going to let it cool down to probably about 130, which is a good safe temperature to work at for soap making, or cooler. We're going to add the lye mixture to the oil mixture, and then we're going to mix it up with my immersion blender, get it all blended and emulsified, and bring it to a light trace. And then we're going to set this crock pot on low and cook it for about 3 hours, checking about every half an hour. And depending on your crock pot, some crock pots cook a little hotter than others. Your batch might not take as long. So, and this is a different crock pot than I've used before. The other crock pot that I used cooked very hot, even on a low heat. So, the best thing to do is just keep an eye on your soap making process. So we're just going to go ahead and let these oils melt, and we will be back to continue the process. Okay, we're back. After reviewing the recipe, I realized I don't actually have to let my lye cool down like I do with the cold process soap, since it is going to get hot anyways. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our lye solution to our oils. You don't have to worry too much about bubbles, but you don't want to splash it. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix this with the immersion blender to a trace, a very thick trace. In just a short amount of time, I've got quite a medium trace because it's all very hot. And that's why when you're working with cold process soap, you want to keep your temperatures a little lower so it doesn't thicken up so quick, so you can actually work with it, your soap So we're going to mix it up just a little bit more. We want it really, really thick, and then we're going to go ahead and cook it. Alright, that's really thick. It's kind of like a custard. Go ahead and cover this and let this cook for about 20 to 30 minutes and come back and check on it. We want it to go through its cooking phase, its gel phase. That's when you know that the lye has cooked and made the oils into soap. That's part of the process there. Let's get you some of the extra soap off here. So we're going to give this a quick stir, make sure all of our soap is down in there. You can see how thick it is. Like I said, it's like a thick custard, a pudding consistency at the moment. We're going to cover this, keep it on low, and let it cook again for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we'll be back to see how it's doing. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Before we continue on, I figured I'd show you what we use in the soap making process for our melt and pour. And so I'm going to show you we use propylene glycol. That's one of our solvents that will break the soap up and make it meltable. We use this is just regular table sugar dissolved in water. And then just regular vegetable glycerin that also goes in here. So those are our additives for our soap that we're going to add now. While I get my gloves on, just want to tell you that I did check on this a couple times because, like I said, I have not used this particular crock pot before for this particular soap. So I wasn't sure how hot it was going to be and how quickly it was going to cook. So we definitely want to keep an eye on that. So this is what we are looking for. This is called the gel phase. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you can see how it kind of looks like jelly. It's got that sheen to it. And that's what we're looking for. And it's very soft and pliable. I mean, it's like applesauce almost. So that's what we're looking for. That's letting us know that the lye has chemically reacted with the oils in here. So it started making the soap. So to this mixture here, we're going to add our additives that I just showed you. We're first going to add the propylene glycol. I'm going to give this a good stir. Well, I'll make sure that these ingredients are fully incorporated. Alright. Next we're going to add our glycerin. I'm going to stir that in. Okay. And then again, we just have sugar water that I have melted here. So we're just going to pour that in. And we're going to mix this in. Now, it really doesn't look like anything but a hot mess right now, but that's fine. We're going to cover this and let it cook for about another 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll be back to check on the process. Okay, welcome back. We're checking out our soap. And I've been checking on about every 15 minutes or so. And it's getting there. I had to actually turn up the temperature. You can see it's still a hot mess, but it's actually the soap molecules here are dissolving now, which is what you want. As I said, I had to turn up the temp a little bit because it wasn't quite melting into the mixture. So this is what it's supposed to look like right now. There's just a few pieces left. So we're just gently going to stir this and try to work all the pieces in here until it's all dissolved. And patience is a virtue. You can't really speed this up too much, otherwise it won't turn out. So the end product will be well worth a little bit of time it's going to take you to just make sure this gets all melted down properly. Okay, hopefully you can see that there's only a few little tiny pieces remaining, so we're almost there, but we have to get those completely dissolved before we can move on to the next phase. So I'm just going to continue stirring this a little bit longer until those pieces are fully dissolved, and then we'll move on. Okay, we've reached the point that just about everything is dissolved. There's a few tiny pieces, but you can barely see them. I mean, they're very tiny pieces. But most of it's all dissolved. Very clear base. And so we're ready for the next phase, which is very easy. We're going to unplug the crock pot, and we're going to move it over. We're going to put our mold here. And this is just my 3-pound mold that I bought from Essential Depot. And we're just going to take this, pour it into the mold, simple as that. You're going to have to do it carefully because this is very hot and you can easily burn yourself. We're just going to pour it in. Just like that. Okay? And then we're just going to let this sit up here. It'll probably take about an hour or so for it to set up because this is quite hot. And then once it sets up, all you have to do is unmold it and it's good to go. So I'll bring you back here when this is ready to be unmolded to show you what it looks like and how it performs. Okay, we are back, and I had to let this set up overnight because like I said, it was very hot when we put it in, so it took some time to cool down. So now we're just going to unmold it. And that's what it looks like. And then we're just going to take it, cut it into some chunks here. Take this and microwave it. And it's all melted down again. Give it a good stir. And then you take your molds, and I'm just going to use these for an example. And you just pour them in your molds. And that is how you make melt and pour soap. So you can make your own fancy shapes or whatever to make yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel so you can keep updated on what's going on either Garden Jen's journey or Colorful Creations. And again, I just thank you so much for joining me in my journey here and making colorful creations that you guys can enjoy as well. Alright guys, see you later. Bye-bye.